You are watching Liberty News USA, the voice of the people, the home of truth, and the front line of freedom. No spin, no silence, just the news that matters. If you stand for truth, hit subscribe. Liberty News USA, where freedom speaks loudest.
Hello, and welcome to Liberty News USA. In today's top story, President and Republican frontrunner Donald Trump is once again making global headlines, this time for a series of sweeping actions affecting America's economy, international relations, and the federal government itself. From the firing of a top labor official to the announcement of new tariffs and military escalations with Russia, we break down everything you need to know in this update. We begin with the economy. On August 1st, Donald Trump signed an executive order raising U.S. tariffs on a wide range of imports from dozens of countries. These changes come into effect on August 7th. According to the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, the average tariff rate will increase from roughly 13% to over 15%. However, some specific goods will see tariffs surge as high as 41%. Affected countries include Canada, Brazil, Germany, Japan, Taiwan, and India. China, already under heavy tariffs since the Trump administration's first term, is expected to face additional scrutiny. In a statement, Trump said the new tariffs are meant to protect American workers and to stop what he calls unfair global trade deals. He also suggested that revenue from tariffs could be redistributed to American families, a proposal economic analysts warn could further divide opinion over how tariff policies impact U.S. consumers. In response, global markets dipped, and European officials issued early warnings of retaliation. Economists say U.S. retail prices, particularly on electronics and vehicles, may see noticeable increases before the holiday season. Meanwhile, in a surprising move, Donald Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Erica McIntyre, just hours after the July jobs report was released. The report revealed that the U.S. added only 73,000 jobs in July, far below the projected 190,000. Trump immediately called the numbers fake and rigged, accusing the Labor Department of deliberately underreporting progress. He then removed McIntyre, saying he would appoint someone more transparent. The firing has drawn sharp criticism from both Democrats and moderate Republicans, who say Trump's actions could undermine public trust in economic data. Former Obama advisor Jason Furman warned that this sets a dangerous precedent. Meanwhile, ABC's George Stephanopoulos compared Trump's decision to tactics used in Venezuela and Turkey, where leaders dismissed officials who provided unfavorable reports. Trump is also facing backlash over a recent order to deploy 2 U.S. nuclear-powered submarines to strategic locations, following a provocative statement by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. Medvedev warned that Russia might target NATO facilities if the alliance continues to support Ukraine's military. In response, Trump called the threats unacceptable and authorized the immediate movement of U.S. naval assets. This is the most aggressive military posturing from Trump since he left office in 2021. While the Pentagon has not disclosed the exact locations of the submarines, defense analysts believe they're headed toward Eastern Europe and the Arctic. The White House has remained silent, but allies in NATO are reportedly concerned that Trump's actions could escalate tensions unnecessarily. In a related development, Trump's recent speeches have raised new questions about his mental sharpness. In one press briefing, he appeared to confuse the names of 2 NATO countries. In another, he referred to wind turbines as bird blenders that give you cancer. While Trump supporters call it classic Trump, others, including medical experts, are calling for a comprehensive cognitive evaluation. A New York University psychologist said Trump's language shows signs of degradation in memory coherence. It warrants scrutiny. Despite this, Trump's campaign insists he is in excellent health and sharper than ever. On the legal front, Trump has demanded the deposition of Rupert Murdoch, the 94-year-old founder of Fox Corporation, in a $10 billion defamation case involving Dominion voting systems. Trump's legal team has stated urgency, saying Murdoch must testify before it's too late. The case is being closely watched for its implications on free speech and media influence in U.S. politics. Meanwhile, Trump is also back in the spotlight for personal attacks on public figures. Most recently, he lashed out at radio host Charlamagne Tha God after being called out over racial rhetoric. Trump's language was so strong that even some conservative commentators expressed discomfort. On the diplomatic front, Trump has nominated real estate executive Steve Witkoff to serve as U.S. envoy to Russia. Witkoff is expected to travel to Moscow next week to push for negotiations on Ukraine and to present what Trump calls a ceasefire opportunity. Critics argue that Witkoff has no foreign policy experience and is unqualified for such a critical role. With less than 6 months until the 2026 midterms, Trump is still the leading figure in the Republican Party, polling nearly 38% higher than his closest rival. However, some within the GOP worry that his escalating rhetoric, unpredictable decisions, and controversial firings could harm their chances in swing states. Pollster Nate Silver recently commented, "Trump may energize his base, but moderates are growing uneasy." At a recent rally in Florida, Trump doubled down on his plans, saying, "I will fix this country in 6 months, one way or another." That speech drew a mix of standing ovations and national pushback. Civil liberties groups are voicing concern over what they describe as authoritarian overtones. That wraps up our real-time update on Donald Trump's latest moves in politics, policy, and power. Whether you see these actions as bold leadership or dangerous overreach, one thing is certain: Donald Trump continues to shape America's political narrative in unpredictable ways. If you found this report helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next breaking news update. Thanks for watching Liberty News USA. Stay informed, stay safe.